So I've turned $20,000 into over $200,000 over the last less than 2 years. So yes, it's possible to build real wealth in the stock market. Hey there, Lincoln here from ballacademy.org. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you can get rich overnight by day trading on the stock market. The answer is that you can't. And I'm sorry for misleading you in the title, but I did it for your own good. If you have come here today to learn how to get rich overnight or to live off of day trading because the TikTokers and the YouTube gurus and the people on Twitter told you that you can just buy in the morning and sell at the end of the day to make all you need to live and have money left over to buy whatever you want, such as a fancy car because they showed you the fancy car in their TikTok video. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that they're lying to you. They're telling you a big fat lie, and it's horrible that they're doing that because people are desperate. People want a way to increase their wealth, increase their income, and to make money without really working for it. And I get it. That's fine. But most people who day trade barely make minimum wage, and most of them actually end up losing money over a year, over 300 days. And even for the longer period of time, they end up underperforming the market. So that means that you could just put your money in the stock market and make more money over the long term than you would by trying to day trade and swing trade by timing the market. So those YouTubers, those gurus, those people on TikTok and Instagram in front of their fancy houses with their fancy cars that they rented out just for that video to tell you that they're rich and they've done it and you can be just like them if you just follow their 10 steps.
So how do we make money from home? For starters, this is not a sponsored video. We just get this question all the time, and honestly, the answer is really simple.
So basically, I just trade stocks on an app called Robinhood, which I left a link in our bio if you want to check it out. It's free to download, free to sign up. They actually give you a free stock, so they're paying you to sign up. But again, not sponsored. And I know trading sounds intimidating. Here's my strategy in a nutshell. I see a stock going up and I buy it, and I just watch it until it stops going up, and then I sell it, and I do that over and over, and it pays for our whole lifestyle. If you're wondering how much you can make doing this, in this month I turned about 400 into 14,000, and in this month I turned less than 1,000 into 20,000.
And honestly, my favorite part about this isn't even the amount of money you can make, but just the fact that we don't have to go to a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, we can focus on things that we actually enjoy doing. So if you have friends that want to make money from home, you can tag them or send them a link, or if you make money this way, share it in the comments so other people know there's more people doing this now.
They are telling you a big fat lie, and it's almost criminal. They're telling you something that just is very unlikely to happen. Sure, there are outliers out there who do extremely well day trading, and there's probably 1% of them. And then there's another 15% who do alright. They get about 11% returns on their trades over a year, according to CNBC data from a research study and multiple research studies. So they do about 11%. But guess what? The stock market does about 7 to 10% a year, sometimes even 15%. So instead of spending 40 hours a week day trading, trying to time the market and get lucky, you could just put your money in the S&P 500, a broad index fund, and do just as well, or sometimes better than those day traders, the top day traders, the ones who don't fail and lose all their money. But again, most day traders are going to lose their money, and I don't want to see more people like yourself be a part of that.
You have to stop dating day traders. Ladies, if a man says he's a day trader, cut it, go, you gotta leave. That's the same exact thing as them telling me that The Wolf of Wall Street's their favorite movie. It just makes me run in the opposite direction, and I encourage you all to do the same. That's not a career. And I'm not saying he needs to have a career, but if his career is being a day trader, you fucking book it, bro.
So if I'm not being clear, let me just give another example of outliers. In business, all they show you are the people who have done very well. The media, they love to cover Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and the latest startup that raised $100 million for their little startup. That makes it easy for you to send a yo to your friend. But what they don't show you is that most businesses, most startups that try to succeed, that try to do something in this world, they fail. They fail miserably. But no one covers that. Just like with the day traders, most people who day trade fail miserably. They barely make minimum wage if they do. And worst, they don't make any money. And they end up losing all their money because there's no other time to market. But all the outliers out there will tell you, hey, buy my course. Follow these 10 steps. And you'll be rich just like me. Because I have a fancy Porsche behind me. Or a Tesla. And I have this huge mansion behind me. And I'm not telling you that I don't own any of this. I'm just borrowing it from someone else who actually owns this and actually built long-term wealth so that they could actually afford this stuff. But if you buy my course for $1,000 and you do what I say, you too can be like me and be filthy rich overnight by day trading. It's a lie. It's not how it works. I've been building businesses for a very long time, since I was in high school, right? So I know that to build wealth, it takes lots of work. It takes lots of hard work. And there's no easy way about it. And the reason I've been able to turn my hard work into actual wealth is because I've understood that it takes time. And I've taken the time to put in the work and build something of value and then sell that and then take my returns, put it into the stock market, and then over the long period of time, it's gone up, right? So I've turned $20,000 into over $200,000 over the less than 2 years. So yes, it's possible to build real wealth in the stock market over the long term. If you have patience, you can take your income, 10%, 15%, 20% of your income every month, and put it into an index fund like the S&P 500, and you'll make 7 to 10% a year. And over 5 years, that might double, right? You might turn your $10,000 into $20,000. But if you want to get there faster, you can find real companies that are doing something amazing and disrupting their industry and leading their industry, like a ChargePoint or a SoFi or a Robinhood or a Square, right? And you can invest in those companies, those young, fast-growing companies, and just hold them for the long term. And they'll appreciate in value. 5 years ago, Square's stock was only $10 per share. If you had held Square from that time to now, you would have more than 20x your money. So if you put in $10,000 5 years ago into Square, it would now be over $200,000. That's how you build actual wealth, by finding great companies and investing in them early and then holding them. Not trying to day trade, not trying to swing trade, not trying to time the market, but just buying and holding, right? And not trying to get rich overnight. Every overnight success that you see that the media loves to cover, that wasn't overnight. It took time. It took 10 years to build that overnight success. But no one tells you that, because it's a lot more exciting to say this guy went from rags to riches overnight. Literally yesterday he was rags and today he's riches. That's not how it works. Amazon stock back in the early 2000s was at $17 per share. Same with Tesla. Today Amazon's over $3,000. Tesla's over $1,000, right? If you had bought those companies a decade ago and just held them and kept buying into them, you would have accumulated more of their shares. And then as the time passed, the value of your stocks, of your assets, would have appreciated. And you would have benefited from the appreciation of the value of those assets and built actual wealth. That's how you do it. If you ask Warren Buffett, if you ask Jeff Bezos, Mark Cuban, all of them, they won't tell you that they got where they are by day trading or swing trading. Even Chris Sacca, you've seen him on Shark Tank. He tried day trading and it went pretty well for him for quite some time. He was an outlier. He did pretty well in swing trading. And then one day, his trade turned on him and he was under millions of dollars, and his broker called him and said, hey, we need our money back. That money that you borrowed from us on margin to day trade with, well, your trade is no longer good and you owe us millions of dollars and we need it in 2 days. You have 2 days to get it back to us. That's what the TikTokers don't tell you. That they might be using margin, taking out loans to buy their stocks, to day trade. And then if that trade doesn't go well, which in most cases it won't go well, they get a margin call. The broker calls them and says, hey, your margin, we need that money back. We need all that money back in 2 days. Otherwise, we'll sell all your shares and you'll lose money because we're selling at the bottom because you're down right now and we cannot afford for your stocks to go down even further. So if you don't get us our money in 2 days, we're going to sell your shares and recoup our money and you'll be broke. No one tells you that. So Chris Sacca got that margin call, and of course he's a very smart guy, so he negotiated with his brokers, which is not likely that you don't have that chance for most people. Most people cannot negotiate with brokers, but Chris Sacca managed to do that. That's why he's on Shark Tank, because he's a special guy. He's an outlier. So he got out of that, right? He found a way to make a deal with the devil and pretty much sold his soul to his broker for years until he paid them off. He was indebted to them because he wanted to get rich very quick. And then he just went into a deep, deep hole for years. And after that, once he was free, he found a way to turn investing into real companies over the long term into real wealth. So he bought Uber before it IPO'd. He bought it years and years before when it was early, very early stage. And then he held on to it. And that turned him into who he is today. One of the wealthiest people in this country. Because he invested in an actual company and held on for the long term. And he did that with many other companies, not just Uber. And some of them are profitable. But it took time. So I've told you about the day traders who do well. And I've told you that most of them do poorly and then lose their money. And I even told you about Chris Sacca, who was a notorious day trader and swing trader, and he used margin and he got a margin call. So that's the whole spectrum for you. Your chances are not very good as a day trader. I'm sorry that I clickbaited you and that I misled you with my title, but it was for your own good. On this channel, bullacademy.org, what we do is we preach long-term bullish investing to build long-lasting sustainable wealth that will enable you to retire on your terms when you want to early, so that you can actually enjoy your wealth and enjoy your life and not have to wait until you're 65 years old to retire. But that takes time, and that's what we talk about here. We break down concepts and we discuss long-term investing and explain why that's turned out to be the best strategy over history, right? Warren Buffett has done it. Mark Cuban says it. Just buy and hold. Peter Lynch says it. Just buy and hold. And we do that by practicing the bull mentality. The bull mentality is that we know what we invest in, we understand what we invest in, we believe in what we invest in, and we hold for the long term, because that's how we build wealth in this country. That's how we give ourselves the best chance of success on the stock market. So if you want to build actual wealth and not fall for those TikTok gurus and YouTube and Instagram gurus telling you to buy their course, you can do that on your own just by finding companies that you can see for yourself make sense and have great stories and have a potential to be worth more in the future. And then you buy them and you hold them for the long term. And then every quarter, every year, you reassess if it still makes sense to keep holding them. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but in most cases, if you find good companies and you give them the time that they need to actually turn into great companies, you will benefit from the appreciation of the value of your assets. Same thing with real estate. If you don't want to do stocks, you can do the same thing in real estate. You find a good house or apartment building, commercial building in a alright area, you buy it, you fix it up, and you hold it, you rent it out, and you get both cash flow and you build equity. You build long-term wealth, actual wealth. All of it takes time. Don't let those people on those apps tell you that you can get rich overnight and just quit your job tomorrow. No, what you want to do is use your income from your job to buy good assets and hold them until they become great assets and keep holding. That's what the wealthy do. And it turns out if you do that for long enough, you won't have to pay any taxes. There are ways to do that too. But if you want to day trade, you'll be paying a boatload of taxes. When you day trade, you pay the same taxes that you pay on your income, 30%, you're gonna have to pay that on your day trades because the tax man doesn't want you day trading. He says if you hold for a year and a day, your tax liability goes down. But if you try to day trade and swing trade, we're gonna tax you at your income tax bracket, 30%. So first you have to actually make money on your trade, and then you have to factor in the tax cost. So that actually brings down your actual gains, your actual returns. And no one tells you about that either in their courses. So they're lying to you. But there's a better way. And if you want to learn, you can watch our videos at bullacademy.org. We talk about what stocks are, what long-term investing is, what the goal of wealth is. I've shown you my portfolio and how I've grown it from $20,000 to where it is today, $200,000 and more, and how I plan to just keep holding and how we do that. So if you're interested in learning long-term bullish investing by practicing the bull mentality, then subscribe to this channel, like the video below, and comment your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what questions you have. And if you want to get more access to me, reach more investors, and get direct answers to your investing questions, then join us over at patreon.bullacademy.org. You'll be able to engage in our Discord channel where we share knowledge and discuss the stock market in real time every day, and share news, rumors, and new investment ideas so that we can all find great deals, do our own research, come back and collaborate, and make better investing decisions together. And you will have a chance at winning $200 every month just for being a loyal and engaged patron. So if you're interested in all of that, I hope to see you over at patreon.bullacademy.org. I'm Lincoln with bullacademy.org. Thank you again and have a great day.